Sheffield the steel city. You have the steel unions coming together for a steel rally with a steel band. I mean, come on, you couldn't get any steelier than that.
I think people know that this isn't just about steel jobs. It's not even just about jobs in the supply chain and manufacturing as a whole. It's about communities, and the trade union movement is about standing up, sticking up for communities, but also fighting for an economy of fair shares for all. That is the kind of economy we need for the future. Steel has got to be at the heart of that.
If we haven't got steel, we haven't got a manufacturing base in Britain. That's the bottom line.
The contribution you make to this country is enormous. Your skills and graft put taxes into the exchequer, taxes that fund our hospitals and schools. Pound for pound, manufacturing is the biggest creator of wealth this nation has. And tens of thousands of people right across our communities depend on your plants for their jobs. For every one job in the steel industry, there are another 5 families that benefit from what you do.
And when something like this happens, it impacts upon thousands and thousands of families.
It's lovely to see families here today, loads of kids. And of course, this is just about their future. It's not just about today's jobs, it's about tomorrow's jobs and apprenticeships too.
There's no certainty anymore. When I started my apprenticeship, everyone told me that you've got a job for life. Like, the UK's always going to need steel, we need it to build. So it seemed like a pretty secure future for myself and my family. And now I'm wondering whether I'm going to have a job in 6 months' time. We must stand united regardless of our union affiliation, our age or our postcode. We must stand united not just for my colleagues that are close to retirement, not just for people like myself who have got another 40 years before we're even close to retirement, but for the generations to follow. I want to drive past the steelworks with my son and tell him what it was like back in the day. I want to drive past with my grandkids and point to the cooling towers still billowing out steam and explain to them what they look like inside. I want a UK that doesn't rely solely on the finance industry for its economic stability. I want a UK that looks after its proud manufacturing history. We started the Industrial Revolution, for goodness sake. We must not let Cameron and Osborne oversee its demise. Thank you.
We need someone to actually start to listen to what we're actually saying. And it's good that Unite and our sister colleagues in the other trade unions are launching this campaign in conjunction with the Daily Mirror to raise awareness of the problems that's facing the steel industry.
When jobs are being lost and communities are being shut down, people individually feel powerless, and you come together, you see there's other workers, other plants, other companies, it's across the country, in fact messages from around the world.
I just want to see if you'll indulge me and do a little bit of exercise for me today. I'm kind of anxious. Let me just tell you, if you're tired of losing your job to imports, stand up. If you're tired of your government turning your back on you and not doing anything about it, stand up. If you're tired of your community suffering and you're losing good paying jobs and life-sustaining jobs for you and your children, stand up. There's not a soul sitting here. You know what? This is a position we need to be in. We need to be standing, not on our knees, not on our backsides. We're going to win this fight. Together we're going to unite with you. And God bless the union, and God bless everyone here.
It gives you that energy boost. You know you're not alone. And it's an old cliche, but you stand united, you have solidarity, you win.
I am getting sick and tired of hearing how the Conservative Party is the new Workers' Party, how they are on the side of hard-working Britain. Frankly, brothers and sisters, if they put just an ounce of the energy into saving this industry that they put into attacking trade unions through that draconian trade union bill, then we would not need to be rallying here today.
Perhaps the government will listen, and perhaps they'll understand that trade union and trade unionists are not the enemy within. We're the people who produce the wealth. We're the people who work with our manufacturing companies and with our public services in order to provide the wealth within our nation and the cohesive nature of the communities in which we live. So let's hope they'll start listening to that, stop attacking trade unionists, Prime Minister, and start channeling your energy into saving our steel industry.
Today, is testimony really to the strength of feeling that we don't want to go through the 1980s all over again. We don't want to lose skills, jobs and plants. This industry has got a great future if the government gets us back behind it and starts acting with a sense of urgency to defend our steel, on which our future economy depends. Now, I'll be honest, I wasn't quite sure what the government meant by the Northern Powerhouse until I come in this hall and I see this is the real Northern Powerhouse.
Good, and every time I hear those bloody Tories talk about a Northern Powerhouse, I think you've been trying to give it a power cut for the last 40 years. How dare you? You turn it into a poorhouse. I mean, it's not a joke from them. But the truth is, steel is too important to lose as an industry. And it's great, people coming together through their trade unions, you do win victories.
And I hope that the government realises that we're not going to go without a fight, that they can't just fill our heads with empty rhetoric and not do anything, and that they actually have to sit down and work out what they're going to do to help save steel in the UK.
The examples that's been shown from foreign governments, whether that be the Italians, Germans or the French governments, show that action and government intervention can be used to support vital key industries in any country, and that's what we need to see in the UK from this Tory government.
We just don't get the concept at all. We have a Secretary of State for Business Innovation and Skills who tells the Financial Times not 6 weeks ago that he doesn't believe in industrial strategy. Well, my God, if you don't believe in industrial strategy, get out and let somebody else in who can do the job, because you're not fit for it.
It's time for Mr Cameron to show his mettle. It's time for him to say, look, I am the party of the working people and I will help the steel industry, I will help it survive, I will do what's needed.
Because we're sick and tired of warm words and empty rhetoric that we keep hearing, so stop hiding behind EU rules. You know what needs to be done, so get on and do it. Less talking, more action. Thank you.
The knock-on effect is just immeasurable. They say it's a generational thing, but you go to any coal mining town after the decimation of the coal industry and they are still struggling to recover, and that's more than a generation.
For every person that sort of loses the job in the steel industry at Scunthorpe, it's going to have a massive effect on other infrastructures, other shops and places like that. So.
It's a national battle. It's not about Port Talbot, it's not about Scunthorpe, Dale, Clydesbridge. It's about everybody. Skinning Grove, you name it. Every plant in Britain is reliant on us.
I do believe passionately that this steel industry not can survive, but will survive. There is no can about it. We can't allow the government and steel companies to just give in and force us to roll over and die. We have to fight this all the way, and we will win this battle.
The next step is always just to keep this issue in the eyes of the public, high publicity, speaking to the government privately behind the scenes. The Labour Party and Jeremy Corbyn as its leader are 100% committed. There's been a number of summits, steel summits. UK Steel, the employers association that looks after the steel industry, are absolutely committed. We're working with them, so there's a pretty good team.
We're going to redouble our efforts, we're going to get that message out, and we are going to fight for steel.